Good morning, sir.
I hope you can see my screen.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So during our last lecture on organizational behavior, we were discussing motivation, types of motivation we had discussed, factors of motivation. Plus, we had also discussed why there is a need for motivation for the employees. So that we had discussed. So this why employees are not motivated, some common reasons we had already discussed. If you have any query, because very few students have joined in, so we can have that query first and then we can start with the session. Yes, if any queries so far, please go ahead, otherwise we will start with the session. Okay, so no query is there, very good. Now before starting with this topic, process, motivation process, that what is the process of motivation. Normally, while doing MBA, a very common question asked to all the MBA student is why you have joined this course, and you have answered this question a number of times also. Now, one of the reason for joining MBA is that the common reason, I'm not saying that this is the only reason, the common reason is that students want to join a multinational company, do a good career in the management field in a multinational company. So good job in a good company. That is one of the main reason for joining MBA. Now, good job in good company requires various things. And the foremost thing is that you should have knowledge. Knowledge not only of theory, but you should be open to gather the knowledge which is available in the outside world also. So wherever knowledge is there, you should be able to gather that knowledge through various, say, on YouTube. If you see lectures of expert teachers there, that could be one of the source of knowledge. Newspapers, magazines, journals, so all these things are sources of knowledge. Now why I'm sharing this, because if you want to get a good job, this is the necessity. There is always said that there is a gap between the industry requirement and the MBA curriculum. Whatever the curriculum is consisting, some gap is there as per the industry requirement. That is why more than 70 to 80% MBAs and engineers are considered as unemployable. So it is not the only responsibility of the university to frame a curriculum which meets to the requirement of the industry, or it is not the only requirement of the institute to conduct lectures and extra lectures for the student, but it is also the requirement of the student that they should learn more and more. Now, yesterday only, I had read an article, and that article was published by Harvard Business School. And that the topic of that article is very much related to our session, our lecture, motivation. And in that article, now the multinational companies want the colleges to teach the students how to be happy, how to enjoy their studies, and later on how to enjoy their work. That is now a area of research, that how the MBAs can be motivated to be happy. So read that article, that was very interesting. And in that article, it was mentioned that nowadays what is happening is everyone wants a very good job, good authority, good facilities, everything. But very few want responsibility with that authority, work pressure with that authority, stress level with that authority. So if you want good job, good salary, good facilities, be ready to accept these things also. Good responsibility, good level of stress, good level of pressure. So how a student in an MBA college can be motivated to be happy? And that is the research topic nowadays. Because it has been realized by the Harvard Business School or the professors who are conducting this research, that the level of stress is increasing. And one of the reason for, am I audible to all?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. And one of the reason for increase in this stress is that the employees are not enjoying their work. If the employees are enjoying their work, automatically the level of stress will be reduced, if not eliminated completely. So this is now a main area of research, not only for the business schools, but also for the industries, that how to make the person happy, how to motivate the person to be happy, what the company should be doing to keep the employees happy. That is now the main area of research, because if the stress level of the employee increases, automatically his performance or her performance is going to decline or decrease, because there is a correlation between stress and performance. जब भी हम टेंशन में होते हैं, अगर आप पढ़ाई करने बैठे हैं और टेंशन में है, दिमाग में कुछ और चल रहा है, किसी से झगड़ा हुआ है, किसी से कुछ और बहस हो गई है, तो जो एब्जॉर्प्शन है, जो भी हम लोग समझने की जो क्षमता है, या जो भी हमारे को पढ़ाई जितनी करनी चाहिए उतना शायद हमारे को एब्जॉर्ब दिमाग नहीं कर पाता. क्यों? बिकॉज द ब्रेन इज ऑलरेडी अंडर सम सॉर्ट ऑफ स्ट्रेस. So to make that brain less stress free or with minimum stress, to make the person happy, the companies are now finding various ways how they can make their employees happy. Because again, if there is a correlation between stress and the performance, the negative correlation, then there is always a positive correlation between happiness and performance. The person who is enjoying his job, his performance is going to be better than the person who is under stress because of the job. So that was mentioned in the article. And now various studies are conducted not only by the educational institutes but by the companies also, that how they can make their employees more and more happy. Various we all are aware of that how now the western countries or the developed countries have started accepting the Indian culture or Indian ways of reducing stress. One of the way is practicing of yoga. Next is practicing meditation. So these are the old traditional ways, Indian ways to control the stress. Because now all the companies know that if they want to make their employees happy, they have to concentrate on reducing the stress level of their employees. And how to reduce the stress? Simple, simple ways are given by the traditional Indian practices like meditation or yoga, which do not have any side effects. No side effects, only positive effects. If we practice meditation, if we practice yoga, there is no side effect, no harmful effect. But yes, if we take stress reducing capsules, if we take stress reducing medicines, there are side effects. So now the companies are concentrating on how we can make our employees happy. So that was what the article talked about, that how now the West is uh, inclined towards the Indian practices, which can be used in the organizations. And many companies, particularly the Western companies, have started implementing these practices at their workplace also. वहां पर मेडिटेशन के सेशंस होने लग गए हैं, योगा के सेशंस एम्प्लॉइज के लिए कंडक्ट किए जा रहे हैं. क्यों? क्योंकि इसका कोई साइड इफेक्ट नहीं है, जो भी इफेक्ट है वो पॉजिटिव ही है. परफॉर्मेंस बढ़ता है, स्ट्रेस लेवल रिड्यूस होता है, एम्प्लॉई को हैप्पी बनाने में ये मदद करता है. हैप्पी एम्प्लॉई इज कंसिडर्ड एज अ मोटिवेटेड एम्प्लॉय. पर्सन इज मोटिवेटेड व्हेन ही इज हैप्पी. So that is one of the reason. Or now still Harvard has started this research. It is not completed. They are conducting this research in various companies in various countries, and not only the Harvard but various organizations, multinational companies also have started working on this particular field, that how you can make your employees happy. And it is expected, the one of the main finding of this research conducted, which was conducted by the Harvard, it is an ongoing process, but one part which they have covered or completed so far, main finding is that it should be taught in the MBA curriculum to the students how to be happy. खुश कैसे रहना है, ये MBA करिकुलम में एक चैप्टर होना चाहिए या एक सब्जेक्ट होना चाहिए इसके ऊपर, ताकि इंडस्ट्री को ज्यादा कॉन्सेंट्रेट ना करना पड़े एम्प्लॉय के ऊपर, और एम्प्लॉय डायरेक्ट से प्रोडक्टिव एम्प्लॉय बन जाए. तो ये सब चीजें आज चल रही हैं काफी सारे इधर इंस्टीट्यूट्स में या फिर टॉप इंस्टीट्यूट्स में. शायद अमेरिकन इंस्टीट्यूट्स में इम्प्लीमेंट होने के बाद हमारे पास भी आ जाएगा, या कभी भी हमारे करिकुलम में भी ये सब्जेक्ट ऐड हो सकता है, अभी तो नहीं है, बट देयर one of the finding is that it should be in the curriculum of the MBA so that the students know how to be happy when they will be joining the organizations to work. So that was related to the article. So apart from these things, it is expected that MBA students should always go beyond theoretical classes. ज्यादा से ज्यादा, जितना ज्यादा आप पढ़ेंगे, जितना ज्यादा नॉलेज आप प्राप्त करेंगे, उतना ज्यादा आपको फायदा होगा इंटरव्यू, क्योंकि जितने आप एग्जाम्पल्स दे सकेंगे, जितना आप अपना नॉलेज वहां पर दिखाएंगे, उतने ज्यादा चांसेस हैं आपके सिलेक्शन के. सो प्लीज कॉन्सेंट्रेट ऑन दैट. So that was a very good article. So I thought, and it was very much related to our today's topic also, motivation. And so I thought that I should share with you in the beginning, and then we will start with the session. Yes, motivation process. Yes, now the motivation process starts with identifying the needs. What are the wants of the individual employee that the company should be aware of, and then they can be able to concentrate on the fulfilling of that person's needs. Earlier, it was thought that money is the only motivating factor. In the initial lecture, we have discussed this, that earlier, before the start of organizational behavior, discipline of organizational behavior, or subject of organizational behavior, there was a thought that money is the only motivating factor. If you want to motivate the employees, increase the salary of the employee, automatically the employee is going to motivate. That was the earlier thought. Later on, it was realized that money can be considered as one of the best motivating factors, but it is not the only motivating factor. And that has been proved in various studies also. Various models have been developed, various theories have been developed that we are going to discuss in theories of motivation, which says that money cannot be the only motivating factor, or money cannot be the best motivating factor. There are other factors also which can play a very important role in motivating the employee. So earlier, this was not practiced. After the start of organizational behavior, when people started with the fact that money is one of the motivating factor and not the only motivating factor, then the process of motivation also developed. And the first process says that identify the needs. Identify the need of your employees, whether your employee is properly paid or not. If he is underpaid, she is underpaid, then pay that employee properly. For that employee, yes, money could be the motivating factor. But if the employee is paid nicely, good pay scale is there, then search for some other factor. That, for example, suppose a computer operator is working in an organization and he is getting a salary of 30,000, which is considered as a decent salary when compared with other organizations. In other organization, the position of computer operator is paid between 15 to 25,000 or 15 to 20,000. But in this organization, the person who is working as computer operator is being paid 30,000 rupees per month. As the person is paid nicely for this particular job, the person will not be motivated with salary. Why? Because salary is already being paid in good terms to this particular person. Then what other things can motivate this person? That is to be searched by the person and by the organization also. And that is called as identify needs first. So identifying needs is very important. Now, the second important factor why we are saying that money is not the only motivating factor. First thing, that everyone doesn't want only money, money, money in life. They want a apart from that also कि पैसा ठीक है, एक हद तक बहुत है, उसके बाद मुझे ये चाहिए, ये चाहिए, ये चाहिए, रिक्वायरमेंट्स अलग अलग बढ़ते जाते हैं. दूसरा सबसे महत्वपूर्ण कारण क्या है कि अर्लियर the situation was different. Now the situation is totally different. Now, if we go 20 years back, there were some companies, or there were many companies which had monopoly in their area. For example, now the best example is of mobile phone. 20 years back, Nokia was the market leader in mobile phones, not only in India, but all over the world. And as they were having monopoly, it was easier for the company to increase the price of the product as and when they feel, they wish. They used to increase the product. So whenever the company used to think that they need to increase the salary of the employees, and if they increase the salary of the employee, automatically their profit percentage will come down. So they used to increase the price of the product. That was actually practiced by many organizations, particularly those who were having monopoly in their area. But if we talk about the current market scenario, it is totally different. We can hardly think of a company which is having monopoly in the market. Very few. Or if we try to think, we will not able to think a single company also. Now, what is happening? The technology is changing so fast that the moment one company introduces electric car, next day there are other 10 companies ready to introduce that particular product in the market. So for only one day, for only 1 month, or maybe less than that, the company may have monopoly, but very soon it is gone and the other competitors come in. This was not the scenario 20 years back, 30 years back. The company used to have monopoly for 1 year, 2 year, 5 year, or maybe more than that. But now the things are very different. Now we are talking about, or you might be hearing that one of the way to reduce the traffic is introduction of flying cars, the car which can run on the roads, and at times they can fly also. So one car will be performing two functions. Already their trials are undergoing. Not only in the foreign companies, but in India also there are companies, not one company, but there are many companies in India also which are doing these trials. So in future, if one company introduces this flying taxi concept or flying car concept, immediately the others are there in the market. So that company cannot say that that company is having monopoly. So monopoly, then only the company is in a position to increase the price of that particular product. Otherwise, it is very, very difficult. Can you see my screen?
No, sir.
Just a moment. Because of some. Huh. I hope now you can.
Yes, sir. See screen.
Huh. Okay. So there are very few companies which can claim monopoly. Otherwise, it is very difficult. Very difficult. कौन सी कंपनी है? आज भी कुछ कंपनीज के पास मोनोपोली है, और उस मोनोपोली की वजह से उनके जो प्राइस है, उनके जो प्रोडक्ट है, वो अलग ही लेवल पे है, उनका प्राइस बहुत ज्यादा है. कौन सी ऐसी कंपनी? दे कैन अफोर्ड टू इंक्रीज द प्राइस ऑफ देयर प्रोडक्ट. Other companies do not have that particular upper hand or facility with them. And everyone is aware of that. मोबाइल की ही एक कंपनी है जो मोनोपोली अभी भी, आईफोन, वेरी गुड, आईफोन. If we compare the price of iPhone with other companies, we will not go into the details of iPhone specification or iPhone applications. In general, if we talk about the features of iPhone 12 and compare those features, in general, I'm not talking about in details. In general, if we take those 10-12 features of iPhone 12 and compare it with, say, Xiaomi, Vivo, or other important companies which are now number one in India, or which are number one in the world also, if we compare, there is a vast difference related to their price. If iPhone is having a price range of, say, 1 lakh rupees, more or less same specification, if not exact, more or less same specification, phone of Xiaomi or Samsung or other company will cost us, say, around 50,000 or less than that. Now, why that particular company has developed its monopoly? Because of the quality which they are giving, and because of the innovative features which they are introducing in their mobile. Everyone waits for what will be the new features or innovative features in the next edition of iPhone. That has made the company to enjoy monopoly for last so many years. in not only in India, but in Western countries also, in other developed countries also, there is a craze. Now, you all are aware of that craze, that before the release of that model, people wait outside the stores, mobile stores, authorized mobile stores of the company, Apple, for 1 day, 2 day, or maybe for 3 days also. Why? Because of that monopoly. Now, this thing we are not seeing when Xiaomi is introducing its new phone. Xiaomi का अगर नया फोन आ रहा है, तो Xiaomi के जितने भी इंडिया में स्टोर्स हैं, उसके बाहर लाइन लगती है क्या? या चाइना में जितने स्टोर्स हैं, उसके बाहर लाइन लगती है क्या? या अमेरिका में जितने भी Xiaomi के स्टोर्स हैं, उसके बाहर लाइन लगती है क्या? नहीं। पर जब एप्पल का कोई प्रोडक्ट इंट्रोड्यूस होने वाला है, तो उसके बाहर लाइन लगना शुरू हो जाती है। वन रीजन, दैट इनोवेटिव प्रोडक्ट, एंड द अदर रीजन इज इनोवेटिव स्ट्रेटेजीज ऑल्सो। कि अगर आपको एप्पल का फोन खरीदना है, तो ऑथराइज स्टोर के बाहर ही लाइन लगा के आपको खरीदना पड़ेगा। So very few companies, we can say, can think of now increasing the price. Now if new edition of Apple phone is introduced, बहुत छोटा सा चेंज हो सकता है उसके अंदर, बहुत छोटा सा, जिस चेंज के लिए शायद कंपनी को 1,000 रुपए, 2,000 रुपए या 3,000 रुपए ही खर्च करने, पर उसके लिए अगर कंपनी उस फोन की कीमत 10,000 से या 20,000 से और बढ़ा देगी, तो भी लोग उसको खरीदने के लिए तैयार है। क्यों? क्योंकि कंपनी का मोनोपोली। तो जब मार्केट में किसी कंपनी की मोनोपोली होती है, then it is easier for the company to increase the prices. Otherwise, it is not easy for the company to increase the prices. So, one reason that money is not the only motivating factor. The other reason is that this particular capital or money is not available with most of the organization to be increased in the salary. मार्केट में कंपटीशन करना है, प्राइस तो बढ़ा नहीं सकते आप, क्योंकि अगर सैमसंग थोड़ा भी प्राइस बढ़ाता है, तो Xiaomi फिर वापस से ज्यादा सेल कर देता है। Xiaomi से कॉम्पीट करना है, तो सैमसंग को अपना प्राइस जो है उसी रेंज में रखना पड़ता है। अगर Xiaomi और सैमसंग से कॉम्पीट करना है, तो वीवो को भी उसी रेंज में अपना प्राइस रखना पड़ता है। तो व्हेन द कंपनी इज अनेबल टू इंक्रीज द प्राइस ऑफ द प्रोडक्ट, that means they are unable to generate more money, more capital, which can be used in increasing the salary of the employees as and when the company wants. This facility is available with them, not with all the other companies. So for those companies, instead of increasing the salary, how we can motivate the employee? ठीक है, साल में एक बार सैलरी बढ़ा दी, साल में 3 बार हम लोग सैलरी नहीं बढ़ा सकते, क्योंकि हमारे पास उतना पैसा ही नहीं है एप्पल के। तो अगर हम सैलरी नहीं बढ़ा सकते, तो क्या ऐसा मान ले कि हम लोग एम्प्लॉय को मोटिवेट ही नहीं कर सकते? तो यहां पर कंपनीज दूसरा तरीका तलाश करने की कोशिश करती हैं कि जो यूज करके एम्प्लॉय को मोटिवेट किया जा सके, एंड दैट इज व्हाट वी आर गोइंग टू डिस्कस मोस्टली इन मोटिवेशन, that apart from salary, apart from money, what extra can be used to motivate the employees. So first one, identify the needs. That is, next one, searches for ways to satisfy those needs. Now here we are talking about the motivation process of a employee, one employee, and this is a general motivation process. It is not fixed that each and every employee will go through with this process only. It's a general, it's a common process where which is followed by in most of the employees. So first, the employee will identify its needs, then search ways to satisfy those needs. Then he will be searching the ways to satisfy those needs. Searching ways to satisfy those needs means how the employee can satisfy the needs. He has joined the organization, he has started working in the organization. Then, if he wants to earn more money, more salary, he will search for ways. Search for ways means that he will first try to understand that how he can get increment, how he can get promotion, and there he will try to go through the rules and regulations for those. That for promotion, the rules are this. For increase in salary, the performance should be this. So he searches for that. That is the second process. The third process is engages in goal directed behavior. He tries to then plan his work accordingly. That if for increment performance is the only criteria, then he will try to plan his performance accordingly. That how much every day I need to perform, what should be the output of my entire day. The employee starts planning for that, so that after some time, after 5 months, after 6 months, after a year, I will be able to get increment. So he starts planning. Next one, performs means whatever plans were framed by the employee, that if I want to increase my efficiency, output, or productivity level, I will have to concentrate more on the work. I will have to give 100% concentration on the work. Then only I'll be in a position to increase my output. And he starts performing on the job. Next process says receives either rewards or punishments. Now receives either rewards if whatever he has planned, whatever he has executed, we are talking about employee. So whatever was planned by the employee, whatever was executed by the employee, according to the output of the employee, the organization will decide whether that employee should receive rewards or punishment. If the output is more, then definitely he will be receiving rewards. If the output is less than what was expected, or less than the target, or less than the goal, less than the standard set by the company, then he will be receiving punishment. Next one, reassesses needs and deficiencies. Now, human beings are called as a human beings are social animals. This is we are hearing from say our childhood. We cannot live in isolation. That is why we are living in society and in a family. The second most important aspect of human being is the wants, the needs of human beings never ends. Never ends. If say as an employee, if I join the company at a salary of 10,000, I will not be satisfied even if after 10 years, 15 years, if I am paid 1 lakh salary after 15 years of working, I will still be wanting for more because the requirement increases. When my salary was 10,000, I was living in a rented flat. When my salary became 1 lakh rupees, I purchased a 2 BHK. So that is not the end of my needs. I'm talking about in general human needs. Then the employee wants more, more, more. So once your one need is met, it is not that all the needs are met. So when the person joined the organization, he was thinking of earning more money. Now he is settled in the organization and he has started earning enough money. Now this person who has performed in the organization, he has planned his day very well. He concentrated on the work very well. He achieved the target or he achieved beyond the target also. And because of that reason, the salary of the employee was increased also. So his one need is met. That is not the end of all the needs. One need is met. Once one need is met, immediately the person start assessing for the second need. ठीक है, अब मेरे को सैलरी मिल गई है, अब क्या? अब मुझे एक 1 BHK तो भी खरीदना है, 2 BHK तो भी खरीदना है, गाड़ी खरीदनी है, कार खरीदनी है, ये नीड्स शुरू हो जाती है। बाद में घर बसाना है, फिर बच्चों को अच्छे स्कूल में करना है, पढ़ाना है। All these needs starts coming, and that is where the person reassesses needs and deficiency कि मुझ में अभी और क्या कमी है, और मैं क्या कर सकता हूँ, और मैं कौन सी मेरी नीड है जो मुझे सेटिस्फाई करनी है, और उसके लिए वापस से वही मोटिवेशन प्रोसेस शुरू हो जाता है। तो दिस इज रिपीटेड अगेन। पहले सैलरी के लिए ये सारा प्रोसेस हुआ, शायद अब वो एग्जीक्यूटिव ज्वाइन हुआ था एम्प्लॉय, 2 साल एग्जीक्यूटिव रहने के बाद सैलरी उसको चाहिए थी अच्छी, अब अच्छी सैलरी मिलने लग गई है, 2 बार इंक्रीमेंट हो गया है क्योंकि अच्छा परफॉर्मेंस था। अब वो एग्जीक्यूटिव रियलाइज करता है कि 2 साल हो गए, अब मुझे प्रमोशन भी चाहिए, अब मुझे असिस्टेंट मैनेजर का जॉब चाहिए। तो अब उसकी नीड क्या है? आई वॉन्ट द जॉब ऑफ असिस्टेंट मैनेजर, आई वॉन्ट प्रमोशन इन द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन। फिर वापस से he will identify that need, he will search how he can satisfy that need, then he will engage in that goal directed behavior, then he will perform. If he performs well, definitely he will be promoted. If he doesn't, then he will not be promoted, and that is how this cycle of motivation process keeps on going. So that is the motivation process. Now we will talk about some of the theories of motivation. We will start with the Maslow's need hierarchy theory. This theory, in brief, we have already discussed when we were talking about, or when we were discussing the evolution of organizational behavior. At that time, we have discussed this theory of Maslow's need hierarchy. I'll just read it, the information mentioned on the slide, and then we will discuss. So Maslow's hierarchy of need theory, needs were categorized as 5 levels of lower to higher order needs. First, individual must satisfy the lower order needs before they can satisfy the higher order needs. Satisfied needs will no longer motivate. Motivating a person depends on knowing at what level that person is on the hierarchy. Hierarchy of needs, lower order is external, higher order is internal. Physiological and safety is external. Social esteem and self-actualization is internal. So in this slide, the information mentioned about the Maslow's need hierarchy theory explain the entire theory in brief. That every person goes through with these 5 levels of needs, and it goes from lower to upper. First, you have to concentrate as an organization. First, the organization has to concentrate on the lower level needs of the employee. Once that is filled, then they can think of the upper level needs. It doesn't starts with upper level and ends at the lower level. We have to start from lower and end at the upper. We cannot start from the middle level also. Now, when you will be joining an organization after, say, 1 year, then first thing you will be thinking of is how much salary you will be getting for the job. So while counseling also for MBA admissions, the first question which we get from the student who comes for inquiry of MBA admission, the first question is related to placement. How many students are placed? What was their highest package? What was their lowest package? What was the average package? So everything is related to your job. Everything is related to the salary. So when you will be joining the organization, one of the most important criteria on which you will be thinking on joining that offer or not will be salary. So still it is considered as one of the most important motivating factors because you are at the entry level. Whether it is a 3 lakh package, 4 lakh package, 5 lakh package, or 10 lakh package, or more than that, that will be the first criteria for selecting or rejecting that offer for most of the students, if not for all, for most of the students. That will be the criteria. So that was what is mentioned in the Maslow's theory of need hierarchy. That first, the lower level needs are to be met. Lower level means that the person has joined the organization not to do social work. That okay, no problem. I belong to a well-off family. I do not want salary or remuneration in return. I'll be doing the job free of cost. So I'll be working happily for the organization without expecting anything in return from the organization in terms of salary or remuneration. This is not going to happen. This can happen only in NGOs. And nowadays, the NGOs are also paying their employees very handsomely because everyone has realized that the lower order need or the first need is first to be fulfilled. Then only we can think of other levels of need. So what he said is that okay, if you want to implement this Maslow's need hierarchy theory in an organization, you have to start from the lower and then you can proceed further. You cannot directly start from level 4 or level 5 or level 3. Level 3 or level 4 says that the person should enjoy status in the organization, a position in the organization. For example, a student is there who is given the position of manager directly. In the interview, the third semester student or the fourth semester student, MBA student, who has appeared for the interview was given the offer that immediately we will be recruiting you as manager in the organization. You will be given a separate cabin, separate cubicle will be separate, cabin will be given separate, all the facilities, that is your PC will be there or laptop will be there, printer will be attached to your laptop, you will be having a attendant and everything, every facility will be given to you, as you will directly be getting the designation or position of a manager, but you will not be getting the salary. So here what is happening, the company is trying to fulfill the level 4, means upper level need of the employee, without concentrating on fulfillment of his lower need. शायद बहुत कम लोग ऐसे होंगे जो इस ऑफर को एक्सेप्ट करेंगे कि मैनेजर बना दिया गया है, केबिन बड़ा सा दिया गया है, बाहर अटेंडेंट बैठा है, सारी फैसिलिटीज है, एसी लगा हुआ है, कांच का केबिन है, सब कुछ है, पर पगार नहीं, सैलरी नो, नो सैलरी. व्हाई? बिकॉज it is said in the findings of various researchers that there are other motivating factors also apart from money. So the company wanted to implement that concept कि जब ऐसा बहुत सारी रिसर्च में माना गया है कि मनी एक अकेला मोटिवेटिंग फैक्टर नहीं है, तो मनी को निकाल देते हैं, बाकी सब चीजें देते हैं और फिर देखते हैं कि इंसान काम करता है या नहीं, एम्प्लॉय काम करता है या नहीं. सो अगर ऐसा होता है तो बहुत कम लोग होंगे जो ये ऑफर एक्सेप्ट करेंगे. एंड दैट वाज शेयर्ड बाय Abraham Maslow, who said that each and every employee does have various needs. एक ही नीड नहीं है उसकी, उसकी एक ही रिक्वायरमेंट नहीं है, उसकी बहुत सारी नीड्स है, उसकी बहुत सारी रिक्वायरमेंट. पर पहले आपको उसकी लोअर लेवल नीड्स पूरी करनी पड़ेंगी, उसके बाद आप उसकी अपर लेवल नीड्स पे काम कर सकते हैं. दैट वाज द फाइंडिंग ऑफ Maslow's नीड हायरार्की थियरी. So first you have to pay the person. That means lower level needs. कि पहले उसे पगार देना शुरू करो. अगर आप उसे सैलरी देते हैं तब जाके वो आगे की नीड्स के बारे में सोचेगा. आप उसे सैलरी नहीं देते, आप उसे जनरल मैनेजर बना देंगे, मैनेजर बना देंगे, केबिन दे देंगे, सब दे देंगे, पर सैलरी नहीं देंगे, तो दैट पर्सन इज नॉट गोइंग टू फील मोटिवेटेड. First, you have to concentrate on the lower level needs, and then you can think of higher level needs. So that was the main findings of Maslow. What he said is that lower level needs, two levels he has included. One is called as the physiological needs and the safety needs. Physiological needs are also called as the basic needs, which is required by each and every person. Basic needs: food, clothing, water. And nowadays more things can be included in basic needs. So these basic needs first are to be met. If these basic needs are not met, then the person will not be motivated, even if the organization is trying to fulfill that person's higher order needs. That was so lower level is always external. External means which is to be fulfilled by the organization. Next one, higher order needs are considered as internal needs, that is social needs, esteem needs and actualization needs. सोसाइटी में मेरी एक स्टेटस होना चाहिए, ऑर्गेनाइजेशन मेरी रिस्पेक्ट होनी चाहिए, जो मेरे सबऑर्डिनेट्स हैं, जो मेरे हायर अथॉरिटीज हैं, सबने मेरी इज्जत करनी चाहिए, मेरे पास हाईएस्ट पोजीशन होनी चाहिए, मैंने जितना सोचा था उतना सब मैंने अचीव करना चाहिए. These are all called as internal needs, where the individual employee has to work hard to achieve these needs. Then only that person will be able to achieve that needs. Now, in detail, we will be discussing in the next session. That is this Maslow's need hierarchy theory that we will be discussing in the next session. Plus, we will be discussing about the other needs theory also. There are, I think, 4 or 5 theories which we need to discuss as per the syllabus of organizational behavior. So we will try to discuss those theories of motivation. So please come prepared so that you will be able to understand better if you come prepared. So thank you everyone for attending today's session. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.